So I'm going to give you 5 areas and 5 tips what scouts and coaches will look for in your gameplay. Hey everyone, how's it going? Mark here. So at the time of recording, we are about 4 or 5 weeks to the end of the season. So we've got to start looking at trials. So for you players, I thought I'd come on here and give you some tips on what coaches and scouts look for when it's trial day. But before we do get into it, I'm not going to cover ages or levels here. And just bear in mind that the age and level that you're going for a trial for, or the club you're going for, is pretty relevant to what I'm talking about here. You've just got to be one step ahead and better than the people either at the club already or the other people that are trialing for your position. So the first one to cover is technique and ball mastery. So when we define it and look at it, what do we mean by ball mastery and technical ability? We simply mean having a good touch and control, as well as good technique and ability to carry out skills like passing, dribbling, shooting, tackling and heading. Today, although the importance of each skill varies according to your position, if you don't have a decent touch or technical ability, it's unlikely that you're going to get scouted or you're going to be successful in a trial. I don't want to use the term even goalkeepers, but even goalkeepers, nowadays in the 21st century, even goalkeepers are being scouted to the point of, can they play football? Have they got good technical ability? Have they got good ball mastery? Some players are blessed with more ability in this area, but with like anything, you can practice, and practice makes permanent. A quick tip though, the most common thing we see that lets people down is your weaker foot. So if your weaker foot is really weak, even in controlling the ball, get practicing. Use that wall, use the fence, use your friends, use your cousins, your dads, your uncles, your mums, your sisters, whoever you can use, get practicing. Okay, and these are in no particular order, but the next one to look at is communication and leadership. This is massive, especially for someone like myself who was a captain of my team for 10 years or so. Communication on the pitch is huge. Leadership is, you talk to any manager, any good coaches, they will ask for 11 leaders out on the pitch. If you are one of them and you can match your leadership skills with technical ability, you've got a heck of a chance of being successful at trials or being scouted. Right, the next one is vision and movement, and depending on your level, the level you play at, this is what's going to set you apart from being a good player to a great player. When you're practicing or you're in a game, it's no good just wandering around waiting for the ball to come near you. You've got to have your head up, you've got to be scanning the field, look where your teammates are and where your opponents are. You need to be looking to move and make runs into spaces where your opponents aren't. This can be behind defenders or simply playing a pass or moving into space. Watch any of the top pro players, this is what they do constantly. The amount of movement they do off the ball, I think it was Johan Cruyff who said something like, the amount of time you spend on the ball is 3 or 4 minutes a game. Out of 90 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes a game, it's hardly anything. So you've got to be questioning yourself on what you are doing for the other 85 to 86 minutes of a football match. Wayne Rooney once said he has a mental picture in his head of where the players are in the positions they're supposed to be way before the ball's coming to him. He will know that if he gets that ball under control, he doesn't even have to look where his players are. He basically doesn't even actually need to realise what he's doing when the ball arrives at his feet, because he's already worked it out where that ball's going. Okay, another one is your temperament. Now, I said at the beginning I wasn't going to talk about character, and character is a little bit different to temperament, as your temperament refers to personality traits that determine how someone reacts to world scenarios. And a person's temperament determines the role they play when interacting with other people. So some of the temperaments we'll look for in a player are self-confidence, not too overconfident, but self-confidence. A really strong sense of motivation as well. You've got to look at some of these players that are earning millions and millions of pounds and dollars a year. At certain clubs, players are getting trophy after trophy. What motivates them to carry on season after season, to continue getting the same success they had that week before or that season before? So your inner desire to succeed, a natural goal setter, self-discipline as I've mentioned before, optimism, sense of belonging and natural leadership. And yes, I've come back to natural leadership. I can't stress how important leadership is in terms of going out on a pitch, taking control of your own destiny, and then in a team game, actually taking control of that team as well, and showing your leadership qualities. And the final one we're looking at today is pace. The speed at which you play the game, not particularly your pace as in Mo Salah, Sadio Mane pace. The higher the tempo yields more passes, more tackles, more shots, etc. So more running equates to more fatigue, which logically means there'll be more late goals in your games. However, in most cases you would expect teams with a high pace to also have a lot of goals scored in their games, and the data generally bears this out. So yes, we're talking pace a little bit in terms of what is your pace, and you can improve this over time and over the years. However, you're only going to get so fast. But the big thing is, how quickly do you move the ball? At what pace do you play the game of football? And can you bring that into your team and in the trials, which ultimately will make you a better player because you're a faster player, and it will move you up in levels really, really quick. Right guys, that's it for today. I've got a session to put on for Notts County. We've got one league game left. If we win that league game, the girls are league champions. Wish me luck, and I'll see you next time.
So dumb, now you're through, you're welcome. You know he had this real hottie named Maria, and he was making it real hard to see her.